Welcome, welcome to this hour of deep, restorative rest. Tonight you are not simply going to sleep. Tonight you are going to allow your brain to do something extraordinary, something that science only discovered just over a decade ago. Something that is happening right now in the quiet folds of your mind. So settle in. Let your body sink into whatever surface is holding you. Your bed, your pillow, the soft weight of your blanket. Feel the way the world is already inviting you downward, downward into sleep, downward into stillness, downward into a process so ancient and so necessary that your survival has depended on it every single night of your life. Let your eyes close gently, softly, like petals folding inward at dusk, and take one slow, full breath in through your nose. Hold it and release it slowly through your lips. Feel how that single breath begins to dissolve the residue of the day. Another breath, in and out. And with each exhale, allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your jaw to unclench. Allow the small muscles around your eyes to release their long-held tension. You have been holding so much, all day long, and now, finally, you are allowed to let it go. Tonight, I want to tell you a story, a true story, a story that takes place inside your own head. A story about a hidden river, a microscopic plumbing system, and a discovery so important that it has changed the way neuroscientists understand the very purpose of sleep. The year is 2012. In a laboratory at the University of Rochester, a Danish neuroscientist named Maiken Nedergaard is staring through a microscope at the brain of a sleeping mouse. And she sees something that nobody has ever seen before. She sees fluid moving in great rhythmic waves through tissue that was supposed to be solid. She sees the brain, the sleeping brain, washing itself. When her findings are published in the journal Science in 2013, the neuroscience world is stunned. For over a century, scientists had believed that the brain had no lymphatic system, no way to clear its own waste. It was considered one of the great mysteries of biology. How does the organ that consumes 20% of your body's energy clear away its own metabolic garbage? And Nedergaard had found the answer. She called it the glymphatic system. A fusion of two words, glia, the support cells of the brain, and lymphatic, the waste-clearing network of the body, the glymphatic system, your brain's overnight cleaning crew. And it is starting up right now, as you breathe, as you settle, as you let go. Breathe in slowly and out, and feel how with each exhalation, you sink a little deeper, a little softer, a little closer to the threshold of sleep. Let me tell you about astrocytes. They are star-shaped cells, named for their delicate radiating arms that reach out into every corner of your brain tissue. Astrocytes are not neurons. They do not fire signals, but they outnumber the neurons, and they support them. They feed them, protect them, and during the day they swell up, plump and turgid, filling the spaces between brain cells. But when you fall asleep, something remarkable happens. Your astrocytes shrink. They shrink by as much as 60%, a dramatic, almost unbelievable contraction. And as they shrink, they open up vast new channels, corridors of space between the cells, And into those corridors, a clear, watery fluid begins to rush. That fluid is called cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF, and it is one of the most beautiful substances in your body. Crystal clear, gently salty, ever flowing. And during the day, while you are awake and thinking and moving, this fluid trickles through your brain at a modest, gentle pace. But at night, when you sleep, the CSF surges. It flows 10 times faster than it does during waking hours. 10 times faster, like a gentle flood rushing through canyons that were closed only moments before. A neurological power wash, washing through every fold and crevice of your sleeping brain. Imagine that for a moment. Imagine the soft, silvery rush of clean water moving through tissue that has worked hard all day, carrying away the dust, the debris, the leftover molecules of every thought you've had today, every worry, every memory you formed, every problem you solved. All of it leaves behind a kind of cellular dust, and tonight, that dust is being swept away. Breathe with me again. A slow inhale, feeling cool air fill your chest, and a long, soft exhale, letting your whole body sink one layer deeper into the bed, feeling the weight of your limbs grow heavier, heavier, heavier with the irresistible pull of sleep. Now the doorways through which this fluid moves are tiny, microscopic gates called aquaporin 4 channels. They sit on the surface of those star-shaped astrocytes, especially on the ends of their arms that wrap around your blood vessels. And aquaporin 4 is what allows water, and the cerebrospinal fluid carrying it, to move freely in and out of brain tissue. These channels are precisely positioned, like the careful arrangement of locks in a canal. They open and close in synchrony with your sleep state. And when you fall into deep sleep, they align themselves with extraordinary precision, allowing the great cleansing flow to begin. Isn't that strange and beautiful? That inside your own head, right now, there are billions of microscopic gates opening themselves, swinging wide, so that the river of cerebrospinal fluid can do its sacred work. The work that only happens when you are asleep. Let that knowledge settle into you, not as something to think about, but as something to surrender to. Your only job tonight is to allow this to happen, to give your brain the gift of deep, uninterrupted sleep, so that the system can do what it was designed to do. Let's slow the breath even more now. Breathe in for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2 and breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, in for 4. Hold, out for 6. As your breathing slows, your body begins to release a neurotransmitter called norepinephrine. During the day, norepinephrine keeps you alert, focused, watchful. It also does something curious. It keeps your astrocytes contracted in a particular way that physically blocks the cerebrospinal fluid from flowing. It's almost as if norepinephrine is the guard that closes the gates of the glymphatic canal. But as you fall into sleep, norepinephrine levels drop. They drop dramatically, and as they drop, the guard steps aside. The astrocytes shrink, the aquaporin 4 channels align, the gates open, and the river begins to flow. Feel that happening now. as imagination, but as biology. Your norepinephrine is dropping. Your astrocytes are shrinking. Your brain is preparing for the great cleansing. And all you have to do is sink. 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 Let's begin a slow body scan now. I want you to bring your attention gently and without effort to the very top of your head. Feel the crown of your skull resting against your pillow. Feel the warmth there, and notice how, beneath that warm bone, your brain is settling, softening, preparing for its work. Now let your awareness drift down to your forehead, the broad, flat plane of skin between your eyebrows. So many of us hold tension here without realizing. Let it melt. Let it smooth. Let it become as soft as warm wax. Down to your eyes now. Feel the small muscles around them, the tiny network of fibers that have been contracting all day, focusing, blinking, searching. Let them rest completely. Let your eyelids feel heavy, as if they have been gently weighted with the finest sand. Move your awareness to your cheeks, your jaw, your tongue resting softly behind your teeth. Let your jaw drop just slightly. Let the tongue release from the roof of the mouth. Let the whole face become loose and warm and heavy. Down your neck, feel how your neck has been holding up the weight of your head all day long. Let it surrender now. Let the muscles on either side of your spine release their long vigil into your shoulders. Let them fall away from your ears. Let them spread out across the bed like pools of water. Feel them sink heavily, completely. Down your arms now, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands. Feel each finger growing heavy and warm. Feel the pulse in your fingertips slowing. Return to your chest. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath, and beneath your ribs, your heart beating slowly, steadily, faithfully. Feel how it is slowing now as your body parasympathetic system takes over, preparing you for the deepest stages of sleep. Down into your belly. Let it be soft. Let it rise and fall without effort. Into your hips, your pelvis. Feel the great basin of bone there, holding the weight of your torso, sinking heavily into the mattress. Down your thighs. Feel them grow warm and heavy. Your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet, each toe loose and resting. And now from the top of your head all the way down to the soles of your feet, feel your entire body as one single peaceful settled weight. Heavy, warm, still, ready for sleep. Let me take you deeper now. Let me tell you what is happening inside that quieting brain of yours. As you slide from light sleep into deeper sleep, your brain waves begin to change. They slow down. They become longer, taller, more synchronized. And eventually you enter a state called deep non-REM sleep, where your brain produces delta waves, slow rolling waves between 0.5 and 4 hertz. Waves so slow they are almost like the rhythm of breathing itself. And here is something extraordinary. Those delta waves are not just patterns of neural activity. They actually drive the cerebrospinal fluid through your brain in great pulsing waves. Each delta wave creates a pressure pulse, and each pressure pulse pushes the glymphatic flow forward. A slow oceanic tide of cleaning fluid, moving in perfect synchrony with your slowest brain waves. It is as if your brain has been designed evolutionarily to clean itself only in this deepest, slowest state, as if the pulsing of delta waves is itself the engine of the cleansing, as if you must surrender completely to the deepest sleep in order for this miraculous flow to occur. And tonight, you will give your brain that gift. Breathe in, slowly, and out. Feel yourself drifting now, drifting toward that ocean of delta waves. Let me paint you a picture. I want you to imagine, gently, without effort, a vast, peaceful sea at night. The water is deep, deep blue, almost black, but lit from within by a soft, silvery phosphorescence. Above the water, the sky is full of stars, and between the stars, ribbons of green and violet light, the aurora borealis, shimmering, shifting, breathing across the dome of the sky. You are floating on your back in this warm, salty, gentle sea. Your body is supported entirely by the water. You cannot sink. You cannot fall. You are held. And above you, the northern lights move in slow, hypnotic waves. And as you float there, you begin to understand that this sea is not outside of you. It is inside of you. It is the cerebrospinal fluid moving through your sleeping brain. And the aurora overhead is the delta waves rolling across your cortex. And you, the small, quiet you, are floating in the very midst of your own healing. Let that image stay with you. Soft, silver, slow. Now I want to tell you about a protein called beta amyloid. Beta amyloid is a small, sticky molecule that your neurons produce as a normal byproduct of their daily work. Every thought you have, every memory you form, every signal that passes through your synapses leaves behind a little bit of beta amyloid. It accumulates throughout the day, the way dust accumulates in a busy house. And in a healthy, well-rested brain, the glymphatic system clears this beta amyloid every single night. It washes it out through the CSF, carries it down into your bloodstream, and out of your body. A perfect nightly housekeeping ritual. But if you don't sleep, if you stay awake too long or sleep too shallowly, the beta amyloid accumulates. It builds up, and over years, it can clump together into the sticky plaques that are the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. A landmark study by Holt and colleagues, published in the journal Science in 2019, showed that just one sleepless night caused beta amyloid levels to rise by 30%. Just one night, 30%. But you, tonight, are sleeping. You are giving your brain its essential cleaning time. And the beta amyloid that has built up across today's many thoughts is being washed away, gently and completely, by the rushing tide of the glymphatic system. Feel that. Feel the relief of letting go. Feel the gratitude your brain has for this rest. And there is another protein, a protein called tau, another marker of Alzheimer's disease, another molecule that the glymphatic system clears overnight. Tonight, both of these proteins are being cleaned away while you do absolutely nothing but rest. What a gift sleep is. What a profound, life-sustaining gift. Studies have shown again and again that people who suffer chronic sleep deprivation across years and decades have a 2 to 3 times higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease in their lifetime. And conversely, people who prioritize deep, restful sleep have markedly lower rates of neurodegeneration. So tonight, by allowing yourself to fall deeply asleep, you are not just resting. You are investing in the long-term health of your brain. You are protecting your future memories. You are caring for the version of yourself who will exist in 20, 30, 50 years from now. Breathe in gratitude for this knowledge. Breathe out anything that does not serve your rest. Let's drift deeper now. Here is another fascinating piece of the puzzle. In 2017, a research team led by Baczynski found that the position you sleep in actually affects how efficiently your glymphatic system works. Sleeping on your side, they discovered, increases glymphatic drainage by approximately 25%, a quarter more efficient than sleeping on your back or stomach. Why might this be? Researchers think it has to do with gravity, the way the cerebrospinal fluid drains from your brain down into the lymphatic vessels of your neck and chest. When you lie on your side, the geometry of that drainage is most favorable. The fluid flows most freely. So if you find yourself naturally turning onto your side as you fall asleep tonight, know that your body is wise. It is positioning itself for optimal cleansing. But whatever position you are in right now is fine. Your body knows. Your brain knows. The system is starting its work. Breathe in and out. Slow and deep. Let me return you to that imaginary sea. But now I want you to dive. Gently, easily, down into the dark, warm water. Not afraid. Not struggling. Just sinking. The way a leaf sinks slowly through still water. As you sink, the surface light fades above you, and the water becomes a deep, velvety midnight blue. And you find that you can breathe here, perfectly easily. And as you descend, you begin to see the soft glow of bioluminescent creatures, tiny lights drifting in the deep. Each light is a memory of today. Each light is a thought you had. And as you sink past them, they drift upward, away from you, released, carried up to the surface where they dissolve into the night sky. This is your brain releasing the day. This is the cleansing happening in slow, beautiful motion. Deeper now, deeper, where the water is still and warm and ancient. And here, in the deepest part of this inner sea, you come to rest on a soft, sandy bed, and you lie there, weightless, breathing without effort, held by the great, gentle pressure of the deep water. And around you, slow currents move, currents of cerebrospinal fluid, carrying away what no longer serves you. Stay here. Stay here as long as you wish. Let's count breaths together, not because you need to, but because the counting itself will carry you deeper. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and once more. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel your breathing become automatic now, unconscious, the way it will be throughout the night. Let me tell you more about the science of this hour. When Maiken Nedergaard and her team first observed the glymphatic system, they did so using a remarkable technique called two-photon microscopy, which allowed them to see, in real time, fluorescent tracers moving through the brain tissue, of living, sleeping mice. They could literally watch the cleansing happen. They saw the cerebrospinal fluid entering along the outsides of arteries, flowing through the brain tissue, and exiting along the outsides of veins. A paravascular pathway, they called it. A system that had been entirely invisible to medicine for over 100 years. And they saw, with their own eyes, that this system was at least 10 times more active during sleep than during wakefulness. This discovery changed the question scientists were asking about sleep. For decades, researchers had wondered why we sleep at all, why we spend a third of our lives unconscious. What could possibly be worth losing all that time? And Nedergaard's discovery offered for the first time a profound and physical answer. We sleep so that our brains can clean themselves. We sleep because no other state allows this essential cleansing to occur. Sleep is not a passive state. Sleep is one of the most active, important, life-giving processes your body performs. And you are doing it right now. Let me carry you deeper still. Imagine that you are walking through a forest at twilight. The air is cool and still. Mist hangs between the dark trunks of ancient pine trees. The ground is soft with fallen needles. Your footsteps make almost no sound. You are walking toward a small wooden cabin you can see in the distance, lit warmly from within, and as you walk, you feel safer with every step. Safer, more peaceful, more deeply held by the quiet of the forest. You reach the cabin. You push open the door, and inside, a fire burns low in a small stone hearth. A bed has been made for you, with thick blankets and soft pillows. A small candle flickers warmly on a wooden table. This cabin is your sleeping brain. The fire is the slow burn of metabolism. The soft bed is the resting state of your neurons. The candle is your consciousness, low and gentle, almost gone. You lie down in the bed. You pull the blanket over yourself. And outside the cabin, you hear the soft sound of water. A stream nearby, rushing gently through the night. That stream is the cerebrospinal fluid, flowing now through every part of your brain, washing, cleansing, restoring. Let the sound of the stream carry you. Let's continue the body scan, even deeper now. Return your awareness to your feet. Feel them so heavy, so warm, so completely at rest. Your toes are loose. The arches of your feet have softened. The soles are warm with a gentle pulse of blood. Up your ankles, your calves. Feel the muscles there. The muscles that carry you through your days. Now finally allowed to be still. Your knees, your thighs. Feel the great strong muscles of your legs releasing their long workday. Your hips, your lower back. Feel the entire base of your spine sinking into the mattress, supported, safe, held. Your abdomen rising and falling with the slow rhythm of your breath. Your chest, your heart beating slowly, gently, steadily. Your shoulders, your arms, your hands, each finger loose and warm. Your neck, your jaw, your face, your eyes resting in their sockets, your forehead smooth, and within the dome of your skull, the astrocytes have shrunk by 60%. The channels are open. The cerebrospinal fluid is rushing through at 10 times its daytime rate. Beta amyloid is being cleared. Tau is being cleared. Every last bit of metabolic dust is being washed away. You do not have to do anything. You only have to sleep. Let me whisper the discoveries to you once more, like a gentle lullaby. In 2013, Mike and Nedegard discovered the glymphatic system, a hidden plumbing network in the brain. During sleep, astrocytes shrink by 60%, opening channels through which cerebrospinal fluid can flow. And that fluid flushes through the sleeping brain 10 times faster than during waking hours. A neurological power wash. Aquaporin 4 channels sitting on the ends of astrocytes are the molecular gates that allow the fluid to pass. They align themselves perfectly during deep sleep. Delta waves, the slow rolling waves of deep non-REM sleep, drive the pulsing pressure that moves the cerebrospinal fluid forward. Norepinephrine, the alertness chemical, contracts astrocytes during the day, blocking the channels. But as you fall asleep, norepinephrine drops. The astrocytes relax, and the gates swing open. Beta amyloid, the protein that builds up in Alzheimer's disease, is cleared overnight by this system. So is tau, the second hallmark protein of Alzheimer's. A single sleepless night causes a 30% rise in beta amyloid, according to research published in Science in 2019 by Holt and colleagues. Sleeping on your side increases glymphatic drainage by 25%, according to Baczynski and colleagues in 2017. Chronic sleep deprivation increases lifetime Alzheimer's risk by 2 to 3 times. Let these facts wash over you, not as information to remember, but as evidence. Evidence that what you are doing tonight, simply by sleeping, is one of the most important things you can do for your long-term health. Drift now. Drift. Let me take you to one more place. Imagine that you are standing in a great crystal cave, deep underground, lit only by the soft phosphorescent glow of the crystals themselves. Blue, violet, green. The air is cool but not cold, and from the ceiling, the slow drip of water echoes softly through the chamber. In the center of the cave, there is a still, dark pool. The water is so still it looks like polished glass, and the colors of the crystals reflect off its surface like aurora. You walk slowly to the edge of the pool, and you sit down on the cool stone, and you let your fingers trail in the water, and the water is the most healing substance you have ever touched. And as you trail your fingers, the gentle ripples spread outward across the pool. Those ripples are the delta waves of your sleeping brain, and the pool is the cerebrospinal fluid, and the cave is your skull, and the crystals are the constellations of your neurons, and all of it is glowing, and all of it is at peace. Stay in this cave for as long as you wish. It is a place inside you. It is always there. It is the most peaceful place in your inner world. Breathe slowly. Breathe peacefully. Breathe yourself into sleep. Now I want to talk to you about the moments just before sleep and what is happening in your brain right now. You are likely passing through a state called N1, the lightest stage of sleep, where your thoughts begin to fragment. They become looser, stranger, more dreamlike. Images appear that are not quite memories and not quite imagination. From there, you will pass into N2, where your brain produces little bursts of activity called sleep spindles. brief flickers of fast brainwaves that researchers believe play a role in memory consolidation. And then, deeper still, into N3, deep, slow wave sleep, where the delta waves dominate, where the glymphatic system is at its most active, where your body is most still and your brain is most cleansed. Later in the night, you will cycle into REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, where you dream, where your emotional memories are processed, and then back down again into deeper sleep. And you will cycle through these stages 4 or 5 times before morning, each cycle a little different, each one playing its own essential role. But for now, your only task is to slide into the first descent, gently, gently. Feel your body becoming heavier, heavier, heavier. Your limbs are like soft, warm stones. Your head is sinking deeply into the pillow. Your eyelids are sealed with the heaviness of 100 years of dreams. There is nothing for you to do, nothing for you to think about, nothing for you to solve. Everything that needed your attention today has been put down. The day is over. The day is complete. And the night belongs to your brain, doing its quiet, miraculous work. In the morning, you will wake clearer than you were yesterday, not just because you have rested, but because your brain has literally been cleaned. Molecules of waste that were present in your tissues this evening will be gone by sunrise. Gone, washed downstream, dissolved into the great river of your body's circulation. The person who wakes up tomorrow will have a slightly cleaner, slightly clearer, slightly healthier brain than the person who fell asleep tonight. And that is true every single night that you sleep well. This is the gift you are giving yourself right now. Let's slow the breath one more time. Breathe in and let the breath leave you all on its own. No effort, no counting, just allowing the breath to flow as it wishes. Feel how the bed beneath you is exactly right. The temperature is exactly right. The darkness is exactly right. You are exactly where you need to be. If any thought arises, let it pass, like a leaf floating down the stream outside the cabin. You do not need to follow it. You do not need to respond to it. It will float on by, and you will remain here at the edge of sleep, descending, descending, descending. Let me hold you here at the threshold with a few more gentle words. Your brain is approximately 3 pounds of soft tissue. It contains about 86 billion neurons and an even larger number of glial cells. And within all of that incredibly dense tissue, there is a network of fluid spaces. The ventricles in the center of the brain produce cerebrospinal fluid continuously, at a rate of about 500 milliliters per day. That fluid flows down through the ventricles, around the surface of the brain, and now we know, also into the brain itself, along those microscopic channels around your blood vessels, a hidden, gentle current carrying the dust of consciousness away. You have about 150 milliliters of cerebrospinal fluid in your nervous system at any given time, and it is replaced about 3 times per day. A fresh tide, always coming in, always going out. Tonight, the tides are strongest. Tonight, the cleansing is most complete. Breathe and let go. Breathe and let go. Let's drift into the final stillness now. Imagine that you are looking up at a sky filled with stars. so many stars that they form rivers of light across the darkness, the Milky Way arching overhead. And you understand somehow that the river of stars above you is mirrored by the river of cerebrospinal fluid inside you, both flowing, both ancient, both quietly carrying you onward through the night. The stars do not need you to do anything. They shine on their own, and the river inside you flows on its own, and your sleep, when it comes, will come on its own. Your only task is to allow it, to allow your body to be heavy, to allow your breath to be slow, to allow your mind to drift toward the borders of consciousness, and then beyond. There is nothing to chase, nothing to grasp, nothing to fear. You are lying in this snow, but you are not cold. You are warm, perfectly warm, wrapped in the deepest peace you have ever known. Above you, the lights ripple and pulse in the slow rhythm of your breath, in and out, in and out. The lights are the same color as the silver of your melatonin, the same slow rhythm as the delta waves of your sleeping brain, the same patient pulse as the cytokines moving through your blood. Everything is one rhythm now. Everything is one stillness now. Everything is one sleep now. Let the aurora wash over you. Let the snow hold you. Let the silence claim you. You are safe. You are held. You are healing. From this moment forward, I will speak less and less, and the silence will grow more and more. You do not need to hear my voice any longer to continue this great work. Your body knows what to do. It has been doing this for as long as there have been human beings, and longer. It has been doing this for as long as there have been creatures that sleep on this earth. Your T cells will continue to bind 3 times more effectively, all through the night. Your natural killer cells will continue their swift, sure work. Your bone marrow will continue to produce twice as many immune stem cells as it would during the day. Your growth hormone will rise and stimulate your defenses. Your melatonin will pour through you like silver light. Your prolactin will lift your lymphocytes. Your cytokines will whisper to each other through the long dark hours, coordinating the great symphony of your repair. And in the morning, you will rise stronger, more protected, more alive than you were when you lay down. Breathe in slowly and out. Breathe in and out. Let the world grow distant. Let the voice grow distant. Let the meaning of words fall away. There is only breath. There is only warmth. There is only the deep, healing dark. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep well. Let the night carry you. Let the silence hold you. Let the slow tides of sleep pull you down and down and down into the place where everything heals. You are exactly where you need to be. You are doing exactly what you need to do. You are loved by your own body, which works tirelessly through every long night to keep you safe. Rest now. Rest fully. Rest deeply. Good night.